Hi, I'm Dan, and welcome to my Nancy Drew pilot review. I just got done watching this pilot episode, and I had fun with it. I am someone who is a fan of these kind of CW teen mystery shows, and I don't think it was one of their best outings, but pilots are tough, and I did enjoy it, and I think that it has some things going on with it that I think have potential going forward. I think Nancy, as the central character, is a likable actor. I think that there's something there. As someone who was a big Veronica Mars fan, she's no Kristen Bell yet, but I do want more of those teen spy kind of shows out there, and I think she's charismatic. I think that they have a little bit of layers there. I don't think she's phenomenal, but I also don't think she necessarily had all of the best lines to work with. They had a lot of exposition at the beginning to like blaze through her inner monologue, and I do appreciate that they like tie things back to who we know of as Nancy Drew as the young detective. But I also don't know that it totally makes sense setup wise that she just stopped solving stuff because her mom passed away. I mean, it certainly makes sense that she like sort of shut down in general, and that she, that led to her not working as hard in school and not getting into college. But I think that it might have been a little bit more motivating or something if her mom had died in a way that Nancy could have felt like she blamed herself, or if it was because of her, like, looking too closely into things, even if that wasn't really the truth, or, if she was murdered or something. I think that would have more directly impacted. She's like, I'm done with investigating. Whereas right now, it's just like, oh, I'm sad, so I'm never going to investigate again. But the correlation between the two things wasn't as strong of an opening as I think they could have gone for. And especially because it's not like there's actually that much keeping her from who she used to be. It's like, she's like, no, I don't do this that much anymore. And then it's like, well, 5 seconds later, you're doing it again. So it's, I like the idea of she has this history and she's coming back to it, but there wasn't enough of I feel like a turn from the beginning of the episode to the end of the episode. Yeah, she had gone fully into full Nancy Drew mode, I guess, by the very end there. But, there wasn't enough for her to overcome, I would say. Meanwhile, we have a whole bunch of other characters going on here. We have Nick, who I think was a likable leading man, romantic lead, and I think that they have some chemistry together, but I also think that it had the trouble of a pilot where they have to like force the relationship together really quickly and, try to make you really into it. When you don't even really know these people that much. I think that coming in the middle of a relationship's a little tough. And yeah, they're sort of like, oh, technically they aren't in the middle of the relationship. They've just been hooking up. But it's like, how did they get to that point? And so they're starting to like talk to each other a little bit more. And I think that the scene where she, broke down to him was supposed to be like the climactic moment of this pilot. To me, it was a little clunkily written. I felt like the sex scene was a little bit awkward. Again, these are all things that I think they can iron out in the future, but the thing that I think works the most in favor of this romance is the backstory of Nick and her dad being his lawyer, and the reveal at the end of it. I think, the reveals at the end in general of all of the people and everyone, having their own secrets and their own backstories, and, trying to expand out, like, what is going on in this world. It's not just like one murder happened and then we're having a whole bunch of nice people and we're like, ooh, who did it? It's going to be weaving in multiple mysteries. And, of course, tying it all back to her mom and to the mystery that started it all for her at the end there, where they find the dress. So let's talk a little bit about that dress and the supernatural elements of the show. I'm very interested to see how supernaturally this show goes, because this is going to be how Nancy Drew sort of sets itself apart. This channel already has In the Dark, which is, another murder mystery show. Riverdale's a lot of murder mystery type things. This supernatural aspect, I think, is supposed to be, it's not just a teen detective, it's also ghosts and shit. And the question is, how much, are they Scooby-Dooing this at all? Or are there really supernatural things, or is it going to be like the supernatural stuff maybe isn't the actual threat. It's the supernatural stuff that's, helping her in some way. I'm excited to see where they go with it and to see how much is actually spooky versus someone trying to, like they say, blame the spookiness to get away with the murders that they caused. I think there's a lot of interesting stuff there, and it could get really silly and hokey, but it didn't in this pilot for me. So I'm intrigued, and I guess generally I think I like the look of the world. I like the cinematography and the score. Some of the actual music choices are a little bit on the nose, but I think the world has a cool vibe. It has a nice set of characters that are likable enough. It's a bumpy pilot. It's a pilot. Most of CW's pilots are bumpy, so I'm willing to give it a shot. It's not the best one I've seen in a while, but it was solid, and I think that there's enough there that I'm willing to give it a few more episodes. What about you guys? Did you like it? Did you get in there right away? Do you feel like it was kind of meh? Did it not live up to your expectations? What characters are you really connecting with right off the bat? And what do you think about the supernatural stuff? What are you hoping to see? And who do you think's behind it all? Not that we could even remotely tell that yet. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope you're doing okay.